Your emotions are not the problem. The way you're reacting to them is. Now, contrary to popular belief, the best thing for your emotions is not always to talk about it. Okay, a lot of people are talking about their emotions, and in doing so, they're bypassing the way that they actually feel. As I do often here, let's look to human design to understand some other ways that we could handle our emotions and feel our emotions as opposed to just talking about it. Now let's establish something really quick. When you have a solar plexus that's connected to another one of the centers via the channels, that means that you are emotionally defined. This means you have an awareness and an energy that comes from your emotions. And it's almost always your emotion. Now, people with this authority are not designed to make decisions while they're in an emotional wave, whether that's an up or a down. And depending on which channel they have defined, that's going to determine the best way to respond to their emotions. For instance, this person right here has the 1222. This channel is a part of the individual circuitry, as is this 5539. That's melancholy. That's like a cruising, like, oh, I'm elated, and then I'm back to cruising, and then it's like, oh, I'm depressed. So it's this back and forth between happiness and sadness, and it's melancholy. And the best response to this melancholy is to just fucking be alone. This is because if you're talking about your melancholy with people, you're not actually allowing the melancholy to do what it's supposed to do, which is to pull your emotions into some kind of individual expression or individual action. The next type of circuitry we have is this outer line right here, the 3536 or the 3041. That's part of the collective circuitry. This one has to do with expectations and dropping them. This is probably the only type of emotional wave where it might be helpful to talk to somebody. However, I do believe that most people are so conditioned to bypass their emotions by talking about them that even with this, they will not actually consider the things that they have to consider, which, given this circuitry, is the expectations. Both expectations that I'm putting on myself and expectations that I'm putting on others. I have to drop those. That is the typical like rise, heightened emotions, crash and burn. And the last type of wave we have is the tribal wave. That's going to be this line, and that line. Now, the tribal circuitry is like all about who you actually fuck with. Like, who would you jump in front of a bullet to save, and who would eat better if you suddenly started eating better? You know what I'm saying? The best response to this wave, which is a like ratcheting, like, oh. Best response to that is just touch. Shut the fuck up, hold my hand, hug me, put your fingers through my hair, like don't talk about it, just physical touch. The tribe identifies who is a part of the tribe by the way that they touch each other. A great example of this is the way you touch your partner versus the way you touch your parents versus the way you touch your coworkers versus the way you touch your children. There's so much information that gets transferred through the skin, through the touch, and that's how the tribe knows who's a part of the tribe. So if you don't know which circuitry you have, maybe watch this video again, but understand that if you know the best response to your own emotions, you can ask somebody to hold space for you in that way. If you have the individual circuitry, you can ask for alone time. If you have the collective circuitry, you can ask the person to help you figure out what expectations you're holding. If you have the tribal circuitry, you can ask somebody, hey, can we not talk and can you just hold me? Your emotions are not the problem. The way you respond to them is. Because you're not responding, you're probably reacting. You might not even be emotionally defined, which is a whole nother situation. Although this information is still relevant, if you don't know what your body graph looks like, visit the link in my bio, click my face, link is in the bio, generate a body graph, it's free. I have $20 reports that'll tell you not only about this center and these channels, but all the centers, all of the gates, and all of the channels that are defined in your system. I'm also doing a giveaway. If you buy a $20 report, you might win a one-on-one reading with me or a relationship reading, whatever you want, which is like upwards of $200. So $20 to learn about all this and the possibility of winning a session with me. Win, win, win. I'm also running a course in January about human design called Live Your Design. Link for that is also in my bio. And to close this out, I'm selfishly doing this. I'm selfishly, 100% selfishly posting content because I want to live in a world where people not like live according to human design, but they at least have run the experiments and figured out if it's something that helps them or not. Because in my 9 years of doing human design and learning about human design, I've yet to meet someone who has not benefited in some way from understanding something about their chart. And that's being modest. Like most people I know, this shit changes their life. So anyway, thanks for watching, and send this to somebody who is in their feels a lot that could use some guidance on a better way to handle their emotions. Peace.